Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Yin Yoga class. I so look forward to these classes on Fridays with all of you. Yin Yoga happens to be my very favorite type of yoga and one that a lot of people don't know about. So, if this is your first time practicing Yin, just want to explain it is very different from a regular asana or movement style practice in that we hold pose for time. So I'll be guiding you through the practice, but if you don't already, please grab a few pillows. If you have a bolster or a block, we will be using it today. If not, grab a few pillows. We're going to do a supported bridge towards the end of class, which we will want to support with those props. So go ahead and go grab those. And we're just going to dive right in and get started. And again, I'll be cueing and guiding and talking more about the benefits of our yin practice during the sequence today. So we're going to start the theme for today is self-love. So the entire sequence, each pose is focusing on energetically and physically opening the heart from the front and the back of the body. And so today we are going into a deep introspective practice of self-love, and I'm really excited. So we're going to start in heart melting pose. So just sit on the knees about hip width distance apart. We'll sit back on the heels. From here, coming up into all fours. And we're going to walk the hands all the way down, bringing the forehead to the mat. So arms should be outstretched, fully straightened, fingertips spread, reaching through the fingertips. And we'll settle in with the forehead at the mat. If this is too much for you, you can always grab that prop by putting some pillows, just bringing the ground a little bit higher, resting here. So finding your position, and we are going to hold for time. So bringing the forehead down to the mat, reaching out through the fingertips. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose and release with an audible sigh. One more deep breath in through the nose. Release with a sigh. And just allow yourself to settle in on your mat today. Always bringing your awareness back to your breath to guide you into the present moment on your mat. So in Yin Yoga, we are holding the pose for time with the intention of diving deeper past the contracted or activated muscles in a normal yoga class and focusing on nourishing the connective tissues and the joints and activating the synovial fluid, which tends to decrease as we age. So by holding the pose, we're sending blood flow deeper to those areas, those connective tissues and joints. So the yin practice, the intention is to find our comfortable edge. So finding that edge that kind of balances between comfort and discomfort, but you should never experience any pain. And then we resolve to hold still. So holding the pose between 3 to 5 minutes each pose, again, diving deeper past the muscles into the connective tissues and joints. So in our yin poses, we are not contracting muscles. We are instead using support and props and the ground to support us so that we can melt and surrender. And in this current pose, Anahata, or heart-melting pose, we surrender to our mats, opening up the front and the back of our hearts. So allowing our hearts to stretch, to expand, and practicing vulnerability as we are exposed from the front and the back. So as you bring your awareness to your breath, sending breath and love to your heart in this moment. Always bringing awareness back to your breath. If you find that your mind is wandering or you become unpresent, and sending that breath all the way in through the nose, to the heart, down the spine, maybe all the way down to your root and back. So, visualization is a great tool, a mindfulness tool to keep you in the present moment. So, you can follow your breath with your mind's eye. And today we'll focus on the color green. So, if you're using any visuals, we always want to, today, we will want to envision a green light. So you can inhale that green light all the way down through the heart, through the spine, all the way down to your seat, to the root, and then send it all the way back up. So in the chakra energy system, the color green represents the heart chakra, the center of love, compassion, and self-acceptance. And so with our yin practice today, our heart opening practice, we are focusing on strengthening love for self, love for others, compassion for self, and acceptance of self. Knowing that love begins with us. So in order for others to love us, we must first love ourselves. So allowing this practice today to be an act and a ritual of self-love. A few more rounds of breath here. On the next inhale, slowly coming out of the pose and just taking a quick counter stretch, shifting weight back. And then we're actually going to come onto our bellies for a Sphinx pose. So coming down onto the belly, we're going to place the forearms directly under the shoulders. From here, we're going to press from the arms and then just allow yourself to settle in. So in traditional Sphinx, we're pressing and activating the muscles. In yin practice, again, we're just going to soften and kind of settle in so that we are supported. Always an option to bring your pillows to the front and have a gentle, you can come down like this, have a gentler opening. Or for the full Sphinx, we will have the arms down. But again, not pressing out, we'll settle in. And I invite you to close the eyes during your yin practice, except for between transitions. So by closing the eyes, it is a cue to go within. So in this pose, we are opening and exposing our hearts physically and energetically to the world. So often in our lives, we tend to build a wall or a shield around our hearts based on past experiences of heartbreak, of pain. And when we close ourselves off to love, we're not able to give ourselves love or to receive it. And so in order to open up the heart chakra and energetic channels, we get to break down those walls, open up our hearts, and first start with self. So in this moment, as we hold pose, I'd love you to think about a quality or characteristic that you love about yourself. Something that makes you uniquely you. This can be a physical attribute, a personality trait, the way you show up in the world. Just thinking of something that you love about yourself. And with each round of breath, sending that love into your body, into your heart. With each round of breath, visualizing that green light in your heart growing stronger and brighter. Sending that breath or that green light all the way in through the nose, down the throat, into the heart, and all the way down the spine to the root until all of your energy channels are illuminated with this green light. And then as you exhale, see that light going back out into the world. And allowing each round of breath to connect you deeper to the vibrational energy of love. Letting it fill all of your cells and all levels of you, body, mind, and spirit. And a few more rounds of breath here, keeping the eyes closed to keep the awareness within. On the next inhale, gently opening the eyes, we're going to use our arms very mindfully and slowly to come back up. And we're going to go directly into a child's pose. So again, always an option to grab a prop if needed for support, to take some of the pressure off, to bring the ground higher. If not, we will be separating these, shifting the weight back to the seat, and then reaching the arms in front, bringing forehead down to the mat. When you arrive, I'll invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose and release with a sigh. Allowing yourself to melt and surrender into the pose. Again, using the visualization of the breath or the green light to keep you present on your mat and to keep you connected to the energy and vibration of love. And as we continue to breathe, I want you to think about an accomplishment that you're proud of. So it's something that you created, that you achieved, that you birthed into the world. And I want you to celebrate that within yourself. Celebrate the accomplishment. Celebrate what you created. Part of the journey to self-love is being able to celebrate the self, your achievements, your accomplishments, your qualities, all the things that make you you. So not only to be aware of them, but to celebrate them. Now again, in child's pose with arms extended, we are bowing and surrendering, opening the front and the back of the heart simultaneously. Love is a balance of giving and receiving. So we must first give love to ourselves so that we are open to and know that we are worthy of receiving love from others. And when we are filled with love for ourselves, from ourselves, the energy of love is abundant and overflows so that we can then give love to others. But it first begins with us. So knowing that being on your mat in this moment is an act of self-love, taking care of self, body, mind, and spirit. So it is these daily mindfulness practices, yoga, meditation, our yin practice, slowing down and tapping into our hearts and our truth, that is an act of self-love. A few more rounds of breath here. Again, honoring or celebrating something about yourself or an achievement. And sending that energy of celebration and love to your physical body. On the inhale, slightly opening the eyes, we're going to stay in child's pose, but do a twisted variation. So walking the arms up, we're going to take the hands all the way to the right hand side. From there, we'll take the right hand and bring it to the small of our back or opposite hip even, if you can have it all the way over. Our head will rest on the arm and we'll hold for time. So feeling the opening and twist through the upper back, through the back of the heart. And holding here for a few rounds of breath. As we settle in, option to always bring a pillow, again, to support or bolster to support, bringing the earth higher. Or meeting the ground. So by bringing the hand behind the back to the opposite hip, we're opening up that shoulder and deepening the twist through the back, which is stretching and expanding our hearts. Begin closing the eyes, tapping into the wisdom and power of the breath as it supports us in our practice and in breathing through some of the uncomfortable edges that we may experience in our yin practice. And just like yin yoga, love too can be uncomfortable at times. It takes a lot of courage to choose to love all that you are, the light and the dark, and allowing our breath to tap us deeper into the ritual and act of self-love, loving all the edges, the darkness, the things that we previously judged about ourselves. Can you find compassion, acceptance, and love for even those parts? A few more rounds of breath here. And slowly and mindfully pressing yourself up. We're just going to close the legs for a moment. Gently sit up, bringing the hands behind, opening up the chest as we lace the fingers. Deep inhale here. Exhale, releasing onto the other side. So opening up those legs. Finding yourself back in child's pose, this time reaching to the left-hand side. So taking the arms all the way over. Right arm stays planted. Left arm will come up and over onto the small of the back. Again, allowing the shoulder to open slightly. Head rests on the right forearm. So feeling the opening through the back as we twist. And settle here for a few rounds of breath. So self-love, love, compassion, acceptance, non-judgment, it all begins with you. So choosing to accept the self as you are, the path you've taken, the decisions you have made in your life, accepting them and finding compassion for the self, for those times where you may have showed up in a way that you're not proud of. We are all humans on this earth, dancing between the human and divine experience, knowing that we are not perfect, but it is our imperfections that make us human, and it is our ability to find compassion and love those imperfections that make us divine. So practicing forgiveness, finding compassion for all of your past experiences that led you to this moment on your mat right now, and loving yourself for who you are right now, knowing that you are perfectly imperfect as you are. And we are all on this journey together. We all feel pain, we all suffer, we all bleed. But equally, as we feel that pain, so too can we feel the joy and the bliss and the beauty of life. So by practicing self-love, compassion, forgiveness, we're able to tap into our divinity and experience all the joys and pleasures of life without the human suffering. Few more rounds of breath here. On the next inhale, gently coming out of the pose, pressing up onto all fours. From here, enjoying a very, very gentle and mindful cat-cow to transition between poses. So we inhale as we drop the shoulders from the ears, tilting chin up toward the sky. Exhale, very slowly, rounding spine, tucking chin into chest. 3 more times. Okay, on this last round, holding in cat for an extra round of breath. So rounding out through the spine, tucking chin into chest. And exhale to slowly release. From here, we're coming onto our back. So again, very slowly and mindful movements as we shift energy, shift our weight. And make sure that you grab your props for supported bridge. So if you do have a block, I recommend using that block or bolster. If not, we're going to use multiple pillows. So from here, supported bridge pose. We're going to inhale, lifting the hips up. And then whatever prop you have, we'll put it directly under the base of the spine. So just below the lower back and kind of at the base of the tailbone. And then we're going to sit here in surrender. So ensuring, again, block, bolster, or stacked pillows that you are fully supported. So in traditional bridge, we're lifting and engaging muscles. In yin, supported pose, we should not be using or engaging any muscles. We allow ourselves to surrender. So we'll take a deep breath in through the nose. Release with a sigh. One more deep breath in through the nose. Release. Just allow yourself to be fully supported in the pose. Again, hearts open, radiating toward the sky, exposed for the world to see. A person who is able to expose their hearts vulnerably to the world is strong and courageous and absolutely beautiful. So connecting deeply in this moment as we go through our cycles of breath, sending love to the self. Maybe thinking of an area in your life where you can practice more self-love. And self-care is just one component of self-love. Self-care is mindfully practicing yoga, meditation, our spiritual practices, nourishing our body, a very important component to self-love. But the roots of self-love go much deeper than self-care. Saying no when you don't feel like it, and saying yes only to things that align with your body, mind, and soul, things that align with your moral values and your purpose on this planet. Saying yes only to no to and cutting out anything, any unhealthy habits, foods, or people that lower your vibration. It takes courage to make decisions from your heart for your heart versus making decisions in order to please others. People pleasing is not an act of self-love. And it is not selfish to focus on, nurture, and love self first. It is the most courageous and selfless thing you can do. Because when you love the self and all that you are, and nurture and nourish self, mind, body, and spirit first, you are then able to pour the abundance of love into others and to show up authentically and fully expressed as the best version of you, the best mother, the best father, the best wife, daughter, human. You can show up better and stronger in your work and in all that you do. A few more rounds of breath here. Just connecting and feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Tapping into the energy and vibration of our mother. The earth can provide us with so much healing energy on our journey to loving ourselves. On the inhale, we'll slowly lift the hips very slowly and mindfully removing your prop and allowing the hips to fall toward the ground. We'll inhale, bringing the knees into the heart, and then gently rock from side to side, just massaging out the lower back. You can keep the eyes closed. Bring the awareness within for the remainder of class. From here, we're going to release the feet down towards the ground and allow the hips to open, making a diamond shape with the legs. So it's a reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. So reclined butterfly, always option to bring props or pillows underneath the knees for support. Our arms are going to come by our sides at a 90-degree angle. So cactus arms, open butterfly legs. Again, option to place pillows or props under the knees for the juicy supported version of this pose. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose, releasing with an audible sigh, and just allowing yourself to fully surrender to the beautiful healing vibration of love. I'm going to silence my voice for this last pose and allow you to sink in to your heart. Gentle reminder to bring awareness back to the breath or visualizing that green light in your heart. And stay present for these final moments of class. We have a few more rounds of breath here. For these final rounds of breath, just allowing yourself to receive, feeling that warm, fuzzy feeling cultivated from your yin yoga practice, and from sending love to body, mind, and spirit today. And keeping the eyes closed on the next inhale, we'll very gently bring the knees together, roll over onto your side, placing your top hand into the earth. And taking this final moment to connect to the energy and vibration of our mother and of love. And gently pressing yourself up into a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed to keep the awareness within. When you get there, we'll inhale the left hand to the heart and inhale right hand to the solar plexus or the abdomen. We'll take a deep, nourishing, and loving inhale. And exhale that back out into the world with a sigh. One more deep inhale. And exhale. And then gently bringing right hand on top of the left. So both hands are at the heart. Connecting in these final moments to the nourishing and healing, calming and peaceful energy of love. And then silently or aloud repeating the affirmation, I am love. I let love in. I am kind to myself. I am at peace. Namaste. Just connecting these final breaths to that beautiful healing vibration of love, knowing that it begins with you. So we get to practice, be vulnerable on our mats, practice loving the self, and then carrying that vibration and energy of love that is cultivated from within out into the world and infusing it into all that we do and sharing it with all the people that we encounter and come across on our journey. Mwah. Sending you all so much love. Have a beautiful weekend.